Hello, neighbors. I usually say happy Monday, but I'll just say it's a Monday. Very tired. Just exhausted mentally, physically, etc. So, very apropos, it is Mental Illness Awareness Week. Mental health is health. I work in a local emergency mental health hospital, and it's just a lot. There's a lot of need out there. So any way you can support anybody you know who's struggling with mental health, please let them know that you are there for them and you love them and they're supported. We have our work session tomorrow at 5, our regular meeting at 6. I'll go over a couple of things that we have just on the work session, and then everything else is going to be at our regular meeting. The first item, we're going to be introducing a new employee. His name is Lewis. He is our brand new, filling for the first time ever, our Public Works Stormwater Supervisor position that we budgeted for this year. Very exciting. He just started this week, so he's super fresh. Or no, last week. Sorry. Last week was his first week. So, yeah, so we'll get to meet him tomorrow. Item number 2 is a city manager performance assessment policy draft discussion. This is going to be happening, or this is something we do in the fall season for our city manager. However, we don't have a formal policy in place or procedure, so we're going to be talking about what that could look like. I don't know that I think it should look like what this draft looks like, but we'll be talking about that tomorrow and some other options that we could be looking at. So if you want to hear that discussion, like I said, that's only in the work session. And then the next several items are all on our consent agenda tomorrow. We're going to be approving a debt policy update. I don't actually think it's an update. It's just a revised version, an updated version. Our city recorder, Miss Perry, will be talking about that and giving us any of those details. Item number 4 is ratify expenses for emergency repairs to traffic signal at Pineville Road and Signal Mountain Road in an amount of $25,068.10. So there was a car crash, and it crashed into one of the traffic signal boxes and busted it, and it cost us $25,000 to replace. The good news is that we do have liability insurance through Public Entity Partners, so we pay it out, we send it to them, and then they reach out to the driver and then work with their insurance company to get reimbursement. So we're not actually out that money, but we do have to front that cost for the emergency repair. Ooh, a nice little fall breeze just came through. It's so nice. Item number 5, we're going to be appointing Anthony Sims to the Cemetery Advisory Board. Hopefully he'll get to be there tomorrow and we'll get to say hi to him in person, but if not, thank you, Anthony, for volunteering to be on our Cemetery Advisory Board. Item 6, formally join the Trust for Public Lands 10-Minute Walk campaign and reaffirm the Commission's 2022 goal to develop parks within the 10-Minute Walk initiative. So we have done so many things in the 5 years that I've been in office, and as this referenced in 2022, we did make a commitment to develop parks within around the 10-Minute Walk to a Park campaign, but we didn't actually vote on a resolution for that. So we're doing that. It's actually incorporated into like our master Parks and Rec plan document. It's mentioned in our comp plan and all of that stuff. So everything we've been doing has been to help increase access to parks for our neighbors in Red Bank. But we're just formally going to commit to that 10-minute walk, bike, roll, however you move, to a park campaign. So that's pretty cool. Item number 7 is the purchase of steps for fire department training facility. This is a budgeted item. It's going to be a little over $14,000. In case you haven't seen it, we have like 3 of those, what are those, like shipment container, those big metal bins that are over there by like the recycling center. They're stacked. There's 3 of them, and they need to outfit that with some stairs to be able to actually do proper training for like 2nd and 3rd floor access, because we do have buildings and structures in our community that are those 2nd and 3rd levels, and so this helps our firefighters get more prepared to be able to deal with those if there is an emergency. Item number 8. This one's also very, very exciting, is we are going to talk about adopting a Vision Zero policy. This is really all thanks to our Vice Mayor, Holly Berry, when she first started serving when she was the mayor on the local metropolitan planning organization that is Chattanooga, Hamilton County, and North Georgia, and there's multiple members. She's currently serving as the vice chair because she's amazing and a badass. She brought up several years ago adopting a Vision Zero policy. I'm going to let her talk about it. I don't want to mess it up, but basically Vision Zero is how do we eliminate traffic fatalities. Not crashes. We can't do that because humans are humans. There's errors. People have medical emergencies. There's just things that you can't control for, right? But you can do things to make your streets safer for all users, for drivers. There's traffic calming measures. There's enforcement things you can do. There's road design things you can do that you can help your community move toward a Vision Zero community. I posted about this recently, actually, because as I've gone through the walking college, which I just turned in my last assignment, so I'll be like graduating in the near future. Very cool. But I came across an article where Helsinki recently achieved Vision Zero in the past year, which is just incredible. 0 crash fatalities in a year. It's just incredible. But this is setting a goal for us to achieve Vision Zero by 2050, and this is we're adopting this in line with the MPO, the Metropolitan Planning Organization that Vice Mayor Berry serves on, that just also voted to adopt the Vision Zero policy. So I don't know if we're the first municipality in Hamilton County, but we might be. Regardless, we are making that commitment, and I'm really excited for that. Item number 9 is award RFP 25-0801 to TSW Design for contracted professional services. This is a budgeted expense. It's going to be $125,000 plus a 10% contingency. So we are, as you guys know, we spent the last 18 months or so working on our comprehensive plan, and TSW Design was our consulting partner on that, and they were just absolutely incredible. Ooh. Okay, Vice Mayor Berry said we would be the first municipality in Hamilton County to adopt the Vision Zero policy. Very exciting. Thank you for sharing that. So we worked with TSW Design on our comprehensive plan. They were just amazing. The Chattanooga team is so awesome, so plugged in, just helped us really do some awesome community engagement pieces, really interactive meetings that they had never done before. But that's because we were asking them to do that, and they were just such good partners that they worked with us really well on that. Well, now that we have our comp plan adopted that we just voted on in June, the next step is revamping our land use policies around zoning and land use. And so that's going to be about a year process. It's going to be a total revamp of what we have in place, because everything we have in place right now is very outdated, was intentionally put in place to be restrictive to certain types of things that previous leadership in our community, didn't want. but it's not very supportive for the kind of development, gentle development, and growth that we want to see in Red Bank. So there's going to be a committee that Director Slay is going to be working with in conjunction with TSW, because they did put in their bid and they were awarded the bid. So we're going to be voting on that tomorrow to work with them again, and we're going to be in that process. It's not just like a new zoning ordinance. It's not a land use policy or whatever. It's called a Unified Development Code. So if you want to look that up and get a little more information, it's more comprehensive, and it incorporates a bunch of different features. Yes, our land use policies and our zoning ordinances currently, the ones that we have in place, are not in alignment with the comprehensive plan that we just adopted in June. And so but we had to have that comprehensive plan piece in place first to help inform this next step toward this Unified Development Code. So this is, like I said, going to be about a year-long process. There will be community engagement. It's going to be just as robust as our comprehensive planning process was, and just like super pumped to work with TSW Design again, because they were just, like I said, amazing partners. So caring, so plugged in. So I'm very excited about that and to get that started. Item number 10 is amend our animal and fowl ordinance to allow 8 hens. So, gosh, I can't even remember. This was probably like early 22 or 23. I honestly, like I said, 5 years, it's all starting to blend together. We did update our chicken ordinance. It was like a whole big thing. There was a local attorney who like wrote a whole opinion piece to the Chattanoogan about how because we are going to allow residences to have up to 4 chickens in their yards, that Red Bank was going to smell like chicken shit everywhere. That was a quote. Well, it turns out that's not true. Doesn't smell like chicken shit in Red Bank. So anyway, we had a resident come recently before us and gave a public comment and asked if we would consider upping it to 8 hens. There's nothing different at all. All of the regulations will stay the same. You have to meet those setback requirements. You have to have a coop. You have to have proper waste disposal techniques in place. And you can't live on, your property cannot abut Stringer's Ridge because the waste can get in there and cause E. coli and other things like that. So all those parameters are still the same. You just would be able to have 8 instead of 4. And so all that really means is you get more eggs and more pets. So yeah, we're going to be voting on that. It is a public hearing too, and there will be a second, no, I'm sorry, it's not the public hearing this time. We're going to have that in, I think, our first November meeting, because we didn't get it publicly noticed in enough time. So we'll do our first vote tomorrow, and then we'll have our second vote with the public hearing on the first Tuesday in November. Okay. Chattanooga just passed an ordinance allowing 8 hens. I didn't know that was the number. Okay, thank you for sharing that. So we'll be in alignment with Chattanooga. They surround us. We're all going to be able to have 8 chickens. I will tell you that I know that as of right now, we only have 8 permits out in a city of 12,000 plus residents for chickens. Not to say that everybody has done it legally, but when we find people that are not properly permitted, they get fined, they get cited. If they don't rectify all of that and get in compliance, then they will, and McCamey will come out and confiscate the hens. So there's all kinds of measurements, accountability measurements in place, and our code enforcement officer checks on those things. So if you're interested in that and you want to give comments or have questions or concerns, you can come out for that, or come to the November 4th meeting when we'll have the public hearing and the second and final vote. Item 11, we're going to have a public hearing to authorize and release a request for proposals for the sale and development of 2 city-owned parcels located off Goodson Avenue. So if you've been paying attention to our past few meetings, we have actually already voted on rezoning one of the Goodson Avenue parcels. It's already gone through the Planning Commission. It's had public hearings there. We've had other discussion about the sale and development of those parcels by whoever ends up buying them. This is not for us to vote on the RFP. This is just for us to authorize our staff to put out that RFP. So it's going to end up being, it's 2 parcels. They have to be sold together. If you're interested in looking at what the RFP says about the specifics around those 2 parcels, if you think you might be interested in buying them and developing residences there, it's uploaded into our agenda packet online. So if you want to check that out there, you can, or just wait. It will get uploaded to the website under bids after it's put out. And then our final item is a beer board meeting. Jeff Schwenke of Clever Ale House has applied to serve beer at the Zombie Run this Saturday, October 11th. That's hosted by New Wave Coffee Roasters. So he's just coming to ask for a permit to sell beer at that event. So we'll be having that beer board meeting, and that's it. So some really exciting things happening still and always. And also some good discussion that's going to happen tomorrow around that city manager performance policy discussion, and then getting to meet our new staff and all that stuff. So adopting the Vision Zero policy, committing to TPL's 10-minute walk to park initiative. I'm just very excited. So anyway, a reminder that mental health is health, and I love you guys, and I hope you have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow at 5 o'clock at our work session and 6 o'clock at our regular meeting. Good night.